The facility had been silent for 3 days before Cole Mercer found the bodies. 17 humans torn apart with surgical precision. Their screams still seemed to echo in the metallic corridors of Research Station Epsilon, though Cole knew that was just his mind playing tricks. He'd seen too much death in the past month to distinguish memory from reality anymore. The dimensional breach his team had been studying had become their tomb, and he was the only one left to witness it. Cole checked his plasma rifle for the 100th time that hour. 43% charge, enough to put down maybe a dozen of those things if they came through again. The creatures from the other side, nobody had given them a proper name before dying, defied physics and sanity in equal measure. They phased through walls, existed in multiple places simultaneously, and their hunger was absolute. The motion sensor on his wrist chirped. Cole's heart hammered against his ribs. 3 signatures approaching from the eastern corridor. Fast, too fast to be human, but different from the dimensional horrors. These moved with purpose, with coordination. He'd heard rumors before the communications array went dark. Alien ships in orbit, a hunting party sent to investigate the dimensional anomaly. The Crithani Empire, humanity's cautious neighbors in this sector, apparently took dimensional stability seriously. The first figure rounded the corner, and Cole nearly fired. The alien stood 7 feet tall, covered in midnight blue scales that seemed to absorb light. 4 arms, each ending in 3-fingered hands that gripped weapons Cole couldn't identify. But it was the eyes that stopped him, 6 of them, arranged in a crown pattern around an elongated skull, each one glowing with an amber intelligence. Human, the alien spoke, its voice a strange harmony of multiple tones. Lower your weapon. We are not your enemy today. Cole didn't lower the rifle. That's what the last visitors said before they started eating people. The alien's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. I am Raquel, hunt leader of the Crithani 7th Fleet. The creatures you've encountered are void-born, dimensional parasites. They consume reality itself. Your breach has drawn them like blood draws scavengers. Then why are you here? Come to watch the show? Raquel's scaled head tilted, a gesture eerily similar to human curiosity. We came to close the breach, but our scanners detected 1 human life sign. We did not expect to find you alive, Cole Mercer. The use of his name made Cole's finger tighten on the trigger. How do you know? Your identification beacon. It broadcasts even now. Raquel's upper right arm gestured toward Cole's chest, where his military tags hung. We have been monitoring this facility since the breach opened. Your species' recklessness with dimensional technology is concerning. But your survival instinct is impressive. A scream cut through the air. Not human, not alien, but something that existed between sounds, a frequency that made Cole's teeth ache and his vision blur. The lights flickered. Reality seemed to fold at the edges of his perception. Raquel's hunting party immediately formed a defensive triangle, weapons raised. The hunt leader's voice carried no fear, only calculation. They've detected us. 3 voidborn, possibly 4. Human, if you wish to continue existing, you will fight beside us. Cole had survived this long by trusting his instincts. Every fiber of his being screamed that these aliens could kill him as easily as the voidborn. But something in Raquel's tone, in the way the hunt leader had positioned himself between Cole and the approaching nightmare, suggested a different truth. Sometimes survival demanded trust in the unlikeliest allies. Tell me how to kill them, Cole said, stepping beside Raquel. The alien's mandibles spread in what could only be a smile. Plasma disrupts their phase state. Sustained fire. Do not let them touch you. Their existence is corrosive to stable matter. The first voidborn materialized through the wall, a writhing mass of geometry that shouldn't exist. Limbs that bent in directions Cole's brain refused to process. Eyes, if they were eyes, that looked into him rather than at him. It screamed again, that reality-breaking sound, and lunged. Cole fired. His plasma rifle carved blue-white lines through the air, intersecting with the concentrated beams from Raquel's weapons. The voidborn shrieked, its form destabilizing, pieces of it flickering in and out of existence. 2 more emerged from the ceiling and floor simultaneously, defying spatial logic. Left, Raquel barked, and Cole dove right, trusting the alien's tactical assessment. One of the Crithani hunters unleashed a device that created a shimmering barrier, momentarily slowing the voidborn's advance. Another hunter threw what looked like a crystalline grenade. It exploded not with sound but with absence, a sphere of nothing that consumed one of the creatures entirely. Cole's rifle whined, charge dropping to 20%. He switched to burst fire, each shot buying them seconds. Rakel fought with brutal efficiency, forearms coordinating in a deadly dance that would have been beautiful if they weren't fighting for their lives. "The breach," Rakel shouted. "We must reach the laboratory where you opened the rift. Close it from within or they will keep coming." They fought their way through 3 corridors, leaving destabilized void-born matter in their wake, reality fragments that dissolved into quantum foam. Cole's arms burned from the rifle's recoil. Rakel's scales showed scorch marks where void-born had come too close. One hunter was down, consumed by the dimensional parasites before the others could react. The laboratory doors stood open, the breach pulsing like a wound in space. It had grown since Cole last saw it, now nearly 10 feet wide, showing impossible geometries and colors that had no names. Voidborn crawled through it like maggots from rotting flesh. "The containment field," Cole gasped. "We can overload it. Collapse the breach, but it will destroy this entire station," Rakel finished. "And us with it if we do not move quickly." Cole met the alien's 6 glowing eyes. In them he saw no judgment for humanity's mistakes, no condemnation for the horror they'd unleashed. Only the recognition of a fellow survivor who understood that sometimes the only way forward was through sacrifice. "I'll set the overload," Cole said. "Get your people out." Rakel's mandibles clicked rapidly. Laughter or respect, Cole couldn't tell. "You misunderstand, human. We hunt as a pack. We leave as a pack." Together they moved. Cole's fingers flew over the containment controls while Rakel and the remaining hunters held the line against an increasing tide of voidborn. The overload sequence required 2 minutes of sustained power redirection. They had maybe 90 seconds before the creatures overwhelmed them. 60 seconds. Cole shouted. A voidborn broke through, reaching for him with impossible limbs. Rakel intercepted it, grappling with the creature even as its touch burned through scales. The hunt leader roared, a sound of pain and defiance that transcended species. 30 seconds. The breach began to shrink, collapsing in on itself. The voidborn screamed in unison, a chorus of dimensional agony. Reality reasserted itself with violent prejudice. Now, Cole grabbed Rakel, pulling the alien away from the dying voidborn. They ran, the remaining hunters ahead of them as the laboratory began to tear itself apart. The containment field overload created a cascade reaction, pulling the breach and everything near it into a singularity of compressed space-time. They made it to the emergency shuttle bay with seconds to spare. The Krithani ship's tractor beam caught them as Station Epsilon collapsed into quantum foam, erasing the breach and its horrors from reality. In the shuttle's silence, Cole and Rakel sat across from each other, both wounded, both alive. "Your species," Rakel said finally, "has much to learn about dimensional mechanics." Cole laughed, a sound that surprised him. "And yours has much to learn about humans." "Perhaps." Rakel's mandibles spread in that strange smile. "But today I learned that survival demands trust. Even in the unlikeliest allies," Cole extended his hand, a human gesture. Rakel studied it for a moment, then gripped it with one 3-fingered hand. Different species, different worlds, but in that moment, united by survival against a dimensional nightmare, they were simply warriors who had chosen trust over fear. And in the cold expanse of space, that made all the difference.